Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? How the Falcons doing today? Huh? That's right. No, I expect you guys always to be loud and proud. I can't tell you how many good times I've had visiting Western Middle School and just seeing your all's beautiful talent displayed in so many ways, and you guys really make the city smile. So I appreciate all the talent that you have and the way you display it. And how many of y'all are working on putting artifacts into your digital backpacks? Everybody, huh? Well, I just think there'd be so many fun things in there to see your performances and how you translate those to academics. So congratulations on being leaders in JCPS and our school system as well. So I'm just always really proud to be here with you guys. You guys are currently ambassadors for our city, and when we point out to the best and brightest and what the hope we have for the future and why it's important to invest, it's Western Middle School. First example, okay? And it's not just because you make us feel good when we see you perform and the teamwork that you all display. There's some other things behind it that you guys probably know, because here's the facts. People talk about arts, and they say maybe we don't need the arts programs, or maybe we don't need to invest in arts. Do you guys think we need to invest in the arts? Yes. Yeah. And it's not just the beauty of the arts. Listen to this as well. Students with a high participation in the arts are 4 times more likely to be recognized for academic achievement, and 3 times more likely to win an award in math or science fair, and 3 times more likely to be engaged in your community. I call those world-class results, no matter what the cause is behind it. And you put arts on top of that, that's what All-Star Citizenship's about. So I really appreciate that, and that's why it's important that we're trumpeting the arts each and every day. And that's just one of the reasons why my team and I, council and I, are working with the Fund for the Arts to launch Imagine Greater Louisville 2020. It's been around now for a bit. But one of the reasons why we wanted to commit to it was to leverage our city's tremendous arts and culture assets to address issues around equity and poverty, and make sure that every artistic talent that we have in our city, no matter where he or she lives, is engaged and supported by the arts, especially communities that oftentimes are left out. And we've seen just tremendous results from Greater Louisville 2020 already. The 34 Imagine Greater Louisville projects we launched last year were spread all throughout the region, but more so than ever in communities of lower income and communities of higher need. And that was a specific strategy, both for the Fund for the Arts and certainly from your city government as well. And Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith is going to tell us more about those in just a moment. And the council's been great on this project and many other projects. And they need to be even greater, right, Councilwoman? She's already there. But yesterday we talked about a challenge that the city's been facing. It was Chapter 2 of the discussion. About a week ago, I emphasized that due to increased obligations that we have to fill a pension deficit that was created, the pension system is sending a big old bill to Louisville, and it's going to result in about $50 million of additional need over the next 4 years. So when you have a big bill sent to you that you don't control, because we've paid our expenses every year, you don't have many options. One option is to cut your expenses, or another option is to raise more revenue, or some combination thereof. So right now we're in the midst of a big debate in the community on what we're going to do. But I would not be doing my duty if I didn't encourage you guys to fight for our ability to raise more revenue in our city through an insurance tax premium. Because here's the reality: if we don't do it, programs like this are in serious jeopardy. People say, well, they say arts programs is a fluffy program, or fixing sidewalks, that's a fluffy program. These are essential programs to have life and vitality in a city. Our city is competing on a global stage for jobs and for businesses. And when these folks look at our community, they want to see a vibrant community full of arts, parks, athletics, decently kept up infrastructure. So that's what we're fighting for right now, a city that's either continuing to move forward or a city that's going to fall back. we put too much work into this to fall back right now. So I just would encourage everybody to talk to their council people and say, I believe in the arts. I believe in investing in our community. For $12 extra a month is what we're talking about. We need to keep these levels of investment that we've got going in our community so we can continue to move forward, create more opportunities for great students like you guys here, and just keep the positive momentum that we've got going in our city. So this is a day of great celebration, and I'd just like for everybody who loves and believes in the arts to speak up and say, we want to be a great city, on the move, full of the arts. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? Now, please put your hands back together and welcome the Fund for the Arts President and CEO, Kristin Boone.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Fisher. It's really inspiring and to be a part of a community where we have a mayor that champions the arts in so many ways. And so thank you for your leadership. I also want to say special thanks to Principal Yolanda Foster, the principal here at Western, for hosting us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you to Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith from District 4. We're in District 4. And as you know, Councilwoman has been an incredible advocate for the arts. Just last week, she was on stage performing with us and with Kentucky Shakespeare for Romeo and Juliet. So she is a woman of many talents. It's also the reason why we need more money for the arts, to make sure all of us stay in our sweet spots, right?
Stay in your seat.
That's right. So on behalf, we want to say we're deeply grateful to the entire Metro Council, to our mayor's office, and many of the representatives of his team here today. Thank you, Althea, a member of our board, Mary Ellen Wiederwall, a member of our Imagine 2020 steering committee. And as we think about this blueprint and how we have used it to leverage how the arts and culture in our community can best serve and advance this region as a more competitive, a more educated, a more compassionate community. And those of you here today are such an important part of that. One, we are going to have a chance to introduce to you all of the our partners in the project grants for Imagine 2020 in year 2. But I want to start by inviting those of you that were a part of year 1 and all of the incredible work you did to come forward. I know we have a handful of you that received support to bring your projects and your inspiration to life in year 1. And so first, we want to congratulate you all. Thank you all for the work. We'll hear a little bit more about that in a bit. But I want to introduce you to 15 new leaders that are putting projects into our community in this year. These projects and artists and organizations represent every council, every neighborhood in Greater Louisville, and from West Louisville to South Louisville, from Okolona to Shively, from J-Town to the Highlands. And so we're really excited to see your all's work in action. So I'm going to get started, and when your name's called up, if you join us up here, Aaron Rosenblum with Kentuckiana Sounds, which is an interactive, he's creating an interactive sound map and website that features audio recordings made by members of our community. So telling the stories of our community every day and documenting everyday life in our region. Bridge Kids International is teaching African heritage culture through the arts, building upon the success of the first year, the Culture Camp, African Heritage Culture Camp, to provide year-round arts programming that support children's educational attainment, build relationships, and develop positive self-image. The Center for Neighborhoods was received one last year, and this year they're partnering with Parkland Neighbors, self-organizing to create a renewed vision for the area that includes creative ways to integrate art, education, local economy, neighborhood pride, and neighborhood action. Thank you all. Cochran Elementary, the second grade, will work with KMAC Museum. I saw Aldi walk in to be able to bring the museum and the hands-on STEAM activities to those children and to their education in second grade at Cochran Elementary. Kentucky Center for the Arts Foundation is leading a project called the Little Africa Project, which will serve as a complementary component of the 2019 Better Blocks Louisville, adding clear arts-based creative placemaking strategies into a traditional neighborhood development project, which includes the design and construction of a semi-permanent outdoor performance space, community plaza, and playscape. Excited to see that come to life. Kentucky Shakespeare. Kentucky Shakespeare will have several nights per week where children attending Kentucky Shakespeare during the summers in Central Park will receive free hands-on arts activities with trained and experienced arts educators. Looking for Lilith. So the Looking for Lilith Theater Company will co-produce a bilingual play, so bear with me. It is Just Like Us or Justo Como Nosotros. Close. Stay in your sweet spot. It's been a couple years. The play is by Karen Zacharias, and they're working with Teatro Tercera Llamada, Louisville's only Spanish language theater company, and they will reach audiences in both English and Spanish. The Little Loom House. So the Little Loom House is a great facility that'll partner with the Beachmont Community Center, Iroquois High School. This is out near Iroquois Park, and Wilkerson Traditional Elementary to offer a series of free, inclusive fiber arts programs after school. We know in-school programs are important, and those after-school are so critical as well. The Louisville Story Program. The Louisville Story Program will engage equine workers and residents of the neighborhoods of South Louisville around Churchill Downs in a literary arts collaboration that will lead to the most caring, in-depth look into the lives and stories of equine workers ever published. Darcy, we're looking forward to that as well. Portland Museum. So the Portland Museum will host speakers, curate an exhibit, and collect histories that highlight the narratives of families who lived on shanty boats at the Portland Wharf in the 1950s via StoryCorps. I also want to invite Rhythm Science Sound. Rhythm Science Sound's Mixing Matters project is an artistic, educational, and culture-building program which utilizes dance music, culture, hip-hop, house, dance hall, and reggae as a platform for community and youth development. Slaughter Elementary will partner with Stage 1 to engage students in a residency around the Revolutionary War. St. Joseph's Children's Home. So St. Joseph's Children's Home will partner with local artists in a variety of fields, engaging children that have been victims of trauma, abuse, in workshops across multiple arts disciplines. We know that the arts bring great healing to our children, so thank you all for helping make that possible. West Louisville Women's Collaborative will host monthly artist-led community jam sessions on the first Friday evening of each month, using a variety of musical instruments to engage community members in a shared arts experience and elevate their voices. And Yanni Vozos, in his second year, will continue the work of the Music Together program, providing free after-school music instruction in the south end of Louisville with a location and with a high population of at-risk and low-income youth. So please join me in thanking these artists for bringing their works to life. So I know you will join me in thanking them for bringing their creative genius to work to move this community forward, bring us together in so many ways. I want to invite Metro Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith to tell us a little bit about some of the stories that happened during year one.
All right. Well, Kristin, thank you so very much. And there are so many folks in this room that really have made this possible throughout the history of this community and today, and especially looking into the future. And seated right front, two ladies whose stories I hope will become part of the oral history project. Where are you? Can you see me over there? I hope that On your left, sir, is Carol Jones Clay. She is a maternal maven in this community, has been supporting the arts, has chaired so many different arts boards, and really importantly was chairwoman of Actors Theater of Louisville and brought that theater into the international acclaim that it has now. So, Carol, thank you so much for your work through the Republic Bank and the Republic Bank Foundation. Thank you for that. And then we could not be where we are in Jefferson County, specifically speaking, the Jefferson County Public School System, without our great, fearless leader, board chairwoman Diane Porter, representing the 1st District. She's so shy. Everybody give a round of applause to Miss Diane. As you can see, Miss Carol Jones Clay and Miss Diane Porter and Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith, we share memos about Valentine's Day. We've all come out, we got our red on. You know what? As an elected official, I think our job really is to help everyone in our community imagine a community where everyone feels connected. How great would that be? It doesn't matter if we all think everyone has an opportunity to be connected. It doesn't matter if we think everybody should be connected. What matters is how every man, woman, and child feels about their connectivity. And then next, we would be a great connected community. And the great connected community is one that is safe. It's our top priority. Healthy, educated, and free from oppression and poverty. And thanks to you all, in the 1st year and the 2nd year of the Imagine Arts Grants, you are going to help us drive this way of thinking home, because it's only together through the arts that we create a great connected community. Can I have a hear, hear? So in the very 1st year of this incredible project, can you believe there were 24 projects in total that were in 40 different zip codes, 100 different locations, more than 32,000 people participating in these projects just in this 1st year. I'm not sure if all the artists were fully aware of the great expanse. And I do know, you know, the last statistic, more than 3,000 hours were given, yes, as they all laugh. So thank you so much for doing that. 3 really quick stories, very quick stories. Our little loom house. And I love all of you, so don't feel left out. Can we kind of make sure we're all okay about that? Little Loom House used fiber arts. I think a lot of folks don't think about the significance of fiber arts and what that can do to help an 11-year-old little boy find himself and then be okay with himself when he finds himself, and work through all the frustration when he can't quite get all the fibers to do what he wants them to do for whatever reason. For whatever reasons, life has given him these challenges. But because of the Little Loom House and this grant last year through Fiber Art, this very little 11-year-old boy that spent all of his time being frustrated and Ken not wanting to pay attention in class and not wanting and willing and able to get the grades that he needed to get at the end of his time with this project, he was so proud of his piece. He took it home and it hangs on the wall. I know there are people my age in this room. You still have something that you made, Mayor. I'm sure you had something you made when you were in grade school or high school. Yes, my mother's favorite ashtray, God rest her soul, it was an ashtray, is something that I made in the 3rd grade. Thank you very much. So Little Loom House and your partners, thank you for that. Secondly, another one I wanted to mention was Side by Side. The Side by Side group partnered literally side by side with Beachmont Community Center and with Americana Center, and they helped side by side creations of intergenerational associations through doing big, large-scale community projects about the community where everyone could tell their stories and share, and then create community art for everyone to enjoy, because that is one of the key talismans of this entire grant program, and that is to reduce inequality and make arts affordable and accessible and available to everyone, everywhere. So thank you all so much for doing that. I believe that work was in several neighborhoods. Mentioning a few were Chickasaw and Park Hill and many others. And lastly, what about accessibility? I don't mean bus and automobile transportation to the arts. I mean, once you enter the place where the arts are going to be experienced and shared, how accessible is that place? those of us that don't have to answer that question because we've been gifted with everything we need to make it. There are many folks who come and visit the arts and want to experience the arts. Specifically speaking, the Arts Cultural Accessibility project that was part of last year's success was at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts. So folks come in on walkers, with canes, wheelchairs, or any other means of mobility that's maybe different than just hopping out of that car, hopping on the elevator and walking through. That now has been highlighted, and the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts is making themselves known for their cultural accessibility. Specifically speaking, have you ever thought about an elderly woman? And I think that's me, Kristin. No, says Mayor Fisher. All right. I'm 61 years old, and yes, that is considered elderly on a lot of things, but it's all part of the mind. There's an elderly woman in our community that her entire life, she never had the opportunity to see the Louisville Ballet perform the Brown-Forman Nutcracker. I'm not even going to ask y'all to say how many times you've seen it. We had a woman who had never seen it. She's on the spectrum. So the autism folks in our community who are leaders in that partnered with the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts, and this woman got to experience the Louisville Ballet's Brown-Forman Nutcracker. And when she was there in the lobby, she was shy and afraid, looking down, not wanting to talk with anybody before it started, and not really responding to any questions. Afterwards, one cultural accessible experience in your Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts, this woman was so excited, could not wait to get to the lobby and to smile and be happy and share that experience. Y'all did that, you did that, and now together, all of us really will do it again this next year. And we're going to do it with the help of one of the greatest school principals of Jefferson County Public Schools at Western Middle School. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Miss Yolanda Foster.
Thank you so much to Councilwoman Sexton Smith, and thank you to each of you for being here with us today. Western Middle School for the Arts is an extraordinary school. It's a school where we're not just about learning, but unleashing students' imaginations, allowing them to explore, test, try, and create. The Imagine Grant allowed our teachers to work with the American Alliance for Theater and Education's 2018 Access and Inclusion Symposium. The purpose of this project is threefold. One, to make professional productions accessible to Western Middle School for the Arts students who would not otherwise be able to attend with their mainstream peers. Two, to connect local teaching artists as well as Western Middle School for the Arts drama specialists and special education teachers to discuss how to make this event, as well as future events, accessible to all of our students. And three, to share with local, regional, and national theater educators the nuts and bolts steps involved in making the arts accessible to all of our students, including those with disabilities, both logistically and academically. I'm so grateful to Mayor Fisher, to the Fund for the Arts, Metro Council, and the Imagine Steering Committee for investing in our project that empowered our teachers with best practices in access and inclusion. Thank you all so much again for being here today, and I hope everyone has a very happy Valentine's Day.